Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Allison and I have a new Project Life layout to share. This is week 10 that I'm working on. It's a hybrid layout again, so there is lots of Cricut work. There is some physical product, just a teensy-weensy little bit from Ali Edwards. I do use washi tape as well, and I'm not certain where it comes from. Possibly close to my heart. Possibly Michael's, I'm not really sure. And then I also add some stamping as well, but we will get to that shortly. So I am working on attaching my photos right now. I've already gotten my first card done, which is the weather. I try and stick to that every Project Life layout. And also I began thinking that I might actually reserve a pocket every week for ways that I include self-care in my weekly routine as well, in my weeks. So watch for that. I don't necessarily think I have anything this week for that, but I will try in the future. So there's that. So this is one of the cards that I'm going to be adding the washi tape to. I just put a little bit there on the left-hand side of that card. I end up tearing it just a little bit shorter later on because I found, unless I've already done it, I found that it was too long. So if I haven't done it, I will. If I have, I've just been not paying attention. I also took one of these hexagon shapes, also from Ali Edwards, cut it in half. I'll use it in two different places on this layout. The one half obviously is going on this photo, and then I have an arrow that I'm adding over top of it that I created with my Cricut using the print and cut function. It's really hard to see. I even have a hard time seeing it, but there is a phrase on that arrow that says good times this way, and then it's obviously an arrow, so it's pointing, and it points into the photo, which is a day that we went and took the kids with their RCs and let them play for a little bit. So that's what that pocket is about. I'm moving on to the 3x4 inch pockets now in my layout. I pulled out this close to my heart stamp that I have in my stash. I will leave links to current products in the description box down below, so if you'd like to have a closer look at this stamp set, and there's another stamp set that I use, you'll be able to find them there. I don't know if the other stamp set I use, if it's current or not. If it is, you'll find it linked below. If not, I will link the other stamps they have, so you can check those out. So I'm going to add the phrase loving to the top of this journal card. We decided to make some onion dip to go with our pretzel chips that we got from Costco. Absolutely love those things, and we love it with onion dip. Personally, I find it too salty between the two of them, so I'll just eat my pretzel chips plain, but the rest of the family absolutely loves the dip. And it goes with veggies too, so it's a win-win all around. This next card is about, honestly, I think it's about another showing that we had. That's what the journaling is about. We just drove down to our local Rotary Park and hung out for a little bit while the showing was happening. I colored in the trees. The trees were created with my Cricut. It was the draw function, and then because there was a little bit of white space left in between the branches of the trees, I colored that in with Spectrum Noir markers. Here's the other stamp set that I mentioned previously. So this is a new stamp set as well, so you will find it down below. I wasn't sure entirely what phrase I wanted to use or where I wanted to put it. I really liked the FYI in that stamp set, and I was thinking about putting it at the bottom of the card on an angle so that it fell off the edge of the card. Then I had a brainwave and thought, what if I put it over top of the journaling and then replaced stamping in that white space down at the bottom with the phrase sticker? So that's what I end up doing. But actually, if you did something like this in your own crafting, if you leave white space down below, or if you have white space left over and you don't know what to do with it, stamping shapes there too would work just as well. I really like the silhouette look behind the journaling. That is the ink that I just used. I haven't used my distress inks very much, so I thought this would be a great way to, or a great time to pull them out and get them used. What was I saying? Anyways, shapes would work really well down there too if that's what you wanted to do. But I really like that silhouette behind the typed journaling. It looks like it is a lot of fun. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think I will do it again in the future. This is the last 3x4" card. There is another phrase at the top that I created with my Cricut. It is another draw image. I just used a black pen to draw it, and I'm using another Spectrum Noir marker to color that in. It doesn't show up in the photos at the end of the video. It's a really light blue. It's beautiful and coordinates really well with all the blues and the rest of the layout. But it is there. So when you see it in the close-ups at the end of the video, it looks like it's white, but it's really not. So I have another flip up that I'm adding to this spread as well. I seem like I do flip ups just about every Project Life layout, which is totally cool. It's awesome. I'm using, because I've run out of flip flaps, and I also don't have flip flaps that are like 4x4". I just created my own flip flap. I took some scrap printer paper that I had, trimmed off a chunk of it, and then cut it down to 3 3/4 inches long. That's the same size, or I guess width, of the photo. And that's how I created the hinge for my flip. I'm just using red line tape to attach that all together just to be sure it does not fall apart in the future. And here you can see me putting it on top of that hinge. I like using printer paper for hinges. I used to use cardstock to make my hinges. When I used cardstock, the fold in it didn't lay really nicely. It was too thick, and so even if you folded it and then burnished it with a bone folder or something, I just found that it was too thick and didn't lay flat. Printer paper is really nice because it already is very thin, and when you fold it in half, it doesn't lose that. I've seen that on other YouTube channels and thought that was an ingenious bit of advice, so I'm passing it on to you. So now I have my two photos adhered together. I do have to cover up the white space on the back side of the top photo. I'll be getting to that a little bit later on. Right now I'm just going to attach this to my 4x6" journal card, and then this card is going to have the same washi tape treatment as the one opposite it on the layout. I really tried to focus on balance when I put this layout together. So in one corner, I have one thing, and in its opposite corner, like kitty corner to it, is the same thing. And I did that on all 4 corners. And then in the center with the 3x4" photos, I alternated between a print and cut image and a write or a draw image. So everything, in my mind at least anyways, is balanced. And of course I stuck with minimal because I just love it, and the white space. So I settled on a 4x6" journal card from Ali Edwards that I had in my stash. I trimmed it down so I could cover up that blank space on the bottom side of the top photo. I'm going to use my ATG to attach that to the back side of it. And here I start looking for an embellishment to put on it. It took me a little while. I went through the ephemera and things that I have left over from Ali Edwards. And in the end, I settle on a cute little chipboard shape that says "not ready." That goes on the photo underneath the flip. And then on the top, I add another little arrow that has "real life" written on it. I'm working on that right now, by the way. So there's my washi tape. And then I'm going to adhere that other half of the hexagon to the right side of that photo, along with a little arrow that was created with the Cricut using the print and cut function. And that says "real life" on it. And then it is pointing into the photo as well, pointing directly at my mug of chai tea. In this photo, I'm sitting on the couch. I had just gone for a walk. I took Freddie with me and was staring at the mess left in the living room. We had gone to Costco not long before that photo was taken, and things were just in disarray. I'm just about finished this layout at this point. I'm adding the last photo to the last 4x6 inch journal card. It is about some storms, severe storms that we were supposed to have, but they totally missed us. And I snapped this picture out my living room window. The clouds, looking at them, were so impressive. I couldn't resist not taking a picture of them. And I found these cute little images that are also print and cut with the Cricut. They are little thunderstorm clouds with lightnings and rain on it. Added those to the right hand side of the photo, as well as a phrase that I used my Cricut to write that says, "Oh wow." Last but not least, I thought that I would add another phrase sticker to that 3x4 inch journal card. The phrase sticker is Ali Edwards. And the only thing left to do now is attach my flip to the outside of the page protector, because obviously if you put it inside the pocket, you won't be able to flip the interactive portion of it. And then all the other cards get put into their respective pockets. So I'm just going to start putting everything away. And actually, I was wrong. I still have the flip up to complete. In just a moment here, when everything is put back into their pockets, I'm going to, first of all, trim this little 3x4 inch card down just a smidgen more. It was a little too large to fit into the pocket. So once I trim off a little bit, it fits in no problem. Then I will go back to the flip up and pull out some tackle boxes that I have my leftover Ali Edwards embellishments in. I'll pull that out and start looking for something to put on the inside of my flip up. So here's my tackle box. I think it's a really great way to store the chipboard and other things that I have left over from Ali Edwards kits. I have stolen this idea from Ali Edwards, who stole it from Crystal Idunyate. It's a great idea, and they are very inexpensive. I found this one and the other one that I have from the Dollarama. So you can literally find them everywhere, and they are not too much money. I settled on this little chipboard circle. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. It has the words or the phrase "not ready" on it. I thought that was perfect because I had some clothes that had been through the dryer but weren't totally dry yet, so I threw them over the banister in the living room to air dry. And I realized that I needed to pull off the pattern paper from the inside of this flip up to staple the flower to. I couldn't do that with everything all glued together, so pulled it off luckily without any major mishaps. Got it stapled and then put it back in the flip. And that brings me to the end of this video. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm so glad that you're here. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and a like. Leave a comment if you feel inspired to do so. And if you'd like to see more videos like this that are Cricut inspired, definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I will be back again soon with more inspiration. Bye friends.